just to summarize, if I found that this code or this code, which we had like the original version of it, if it looked a little bit too ugly, then we could have done this the third way. We can simply declare a pointer, a void pointer, vptr, something like that, or void ptr equals address of this, okay, and then we could just pass void pointer instead of this, and that should work exactly the same way, right? So you can create a void pointer. Remember, the only difference between the void pointer and a normal pointer is the void pointer remembers only the address. It really says it's your responsibility to always make sure that you know what is the size of the actual object. So let's quickly run this build and run it. Hasn't finished building. Did I make a mistake someplace? Build. Oh, again, I forgot to close my program. So build again, run it. So here we go. Now also notice that every time we go and run this program, the address of character E is kind of different, right? This is one of the security features that is built into many operating systems, that the virtual addresses available to us in protected memory kind of often do change, so that changing these addresses essentially makes it harder for viruses to exploit executable code, because you cannot really just expect the same address to be, the character E to be the same every time you do stuff. So anyway, just kind of interesting observation that at runtime, the address of character E kind of does change quite a bit. Okay, so we've done that, and if I wanted to go back to a character, I could say character, like pointer to character char ptr equals void ptr. Okay, so if I wanted to, I can actually, it seems like it wants to complain about it, but it shouldn't. Let me see. Build cannot convert from void to char. Oh, okay. So it still wants me to say, it just basically thinks that, void pointer is fine, but it's kind of still dangerous to represent void as void pointer as pointer to character. So we can do it either this way. This is a C-style cast, which is unconditional cast. We say, don't worry about the fact that this is a pointer to a void object, which is basically the size of an object we don't know. I'm just saying, treat this void pointer as pointer to a character, and then initialize it like this. Or the second version would simply be like I did this before, static cast to this time to a char. Okay, and I'll use some spaces here, and the void pointer becomes basically like a function call syntax. So either way will work just fine, but this is just to finalize that you can go back to pointer to character from pointer to void. You can do this conversion, and then if I wanted to, once again, if I wanted to prove to myself that everything looks good, I can then say std cout print say dereference char ptr new line at the end, and then semicolon. So in this final statement here, if I build this and if I run it, you can see that I was perfectly capable of creating an array of characters, initialize it with string hello, okay, then be able to print the element with index 1 from that array, which of course is character E. Then I was able to say character E, which is you right here. What is your address? Give me your address and store this address in a variable named void PTR, which is of course a pointer to a void object. And this keyword was chosen to create a special type of pointer which forgets about the size of an object that it contains. By the way, a void pointer is not dereferenceable. You cannot dereference this pointer with asterisk in front of it and make it, go to memory location. It is only designed to remember the address, right? So what can I do with this address? I can print it, I can visualize it, but then if I wanted to go back to pointer to character, I can create yet another variable, which of course is the pointer to character, and then I can do either C-style cast to my void pointer or C++ static cast, which is a little safer because if something is wrong, the compiler will give you a better warning message, and essentially say that take this address of a character and treat it as basically the data type should be pointer to character, and initialize my character, pointer to that character with that address. And then, of course, when I go here and dereference it, this time cout displays that character for the second time. We're basically made this full circle of things. So just want you guys to remember that that is something that is perhaps the ultimate demonstration with pointers and characters and arrays and things like that, just so that you know that those things are available. And of course, if you do have a book, you can read the book. If you've chosen to use other resources, I'm sure you can find plenty of resources on YouTube which are tutorials on pointers. You can also find plenty of resources which are simply tutorials on pointers out there. So use your use whichever resource you find applicable, whichever resource makes you feel comfortable with the material. But the book, I find that the book does pretty good job in terms of presenting those concepts. So the good news is that we're pretty much wrapping up our discussion of pointers. Like I told you, I think that you can use the practice mode of our quiz as just another, series of endless microscopic size lessons. Like every question is like, can you stand up to this challenge? What do you think the right answer is? If you don't know, or if you make it the wrong answer, it'll instantly show you what the right answer is, and hopefully you can remember what it is. So the more you practice, the happier I will be, okay? Because I really want you to go back and do it again and again and again, but don't attempt to practice once and take the real test when you click go, because it's not going to work too well. It's just like there's simply too many questions, too many different challenges. You have to spend your time. Plus, this is the only homework that I want you to submit. Take those quizzes. I'm not making you to write any complicated code with this. So that kind of wraps up our discussion about pointers, sort of like as an official item on the agenda. But as we move along, they will kind of appear here and there, just like in the book itself. So, just selected topics, but those formal intro to them is pretty much over now. So any questions?